Hey guys, and welcome to another video. This is just a little update as such. I'm back home now, as you can see. My messy room is behind me. Anyway, about the whole situation with Japan, I do have a few videos coming up. I haven't edited them yet, but I will. I did film in Japan, not as much as I wanted to, because that's always me. But yeah, this is just a story time basically. So I went to Japan on the 13th of February, I believe. On the 16th of February we went to my friend's wedding, and the 15th of February was my birthday. So all was good, and I was planning to come back on the 6th of March, so I was going to stay there for 3 weeks. But yeah, nothing turns out. Anyway, I first swapped my flight from the 6th of March to the 13th of March to stay an extra week, because my brother was staying longer than me anyway, so I thought, okay, I'll go back with him. And I went to pick up some clothes that I had previously left in Japan, and I was going to get them back, so I was going to have 3 cases and then come home on the 13th. All good. So the 13th, I think it was the day before, maybe, we were flying with KLM, so we go from KLM to stop off at Amsterdam, and then we go to Humberside, which is an airport near Grimsby in Lincolnshire. If anybody knows that, that's kind of like, I'm from Lincolnshire, so yeah, that was the nearest airport to us. And so that's normally our route to Osaka, Japan. 13th came around, well the 12th, and our flight got cancelled with KLM, and it was due to the plane being empty. It wasn't actually due to coronavirus as such, because the borders were open, and one of my friends had literally got on a flight home to the same airport. I think it must have been at least 4 days just before us. So mine and my brother's flight got cancelled, which I actually didn't expect, because like there was no lockdown in the UK, nothing was happening, it was all good. So I think I've kind of got like, yeah, so then I had to ring up on my phone, and they rebooked us on to another flight on the 24th of March. So yeah, so on the 24th of March they booked us on to the same flights, and it was all good. They did offer us first one, and it was a nearly 7-hour wait layover in I don't know if we had to go to Tokyo, I think, and then we had to have another stopover. So it was like 4 airports, and it was 6-hour or 7-hour stopover in one of the airports. And we said we just wanted the flight that we paid for, and so for waiting an extra 2 days, we said we'd go for the flight, which was exactly what we wanted. So yeah, then we got booked onto that, it was all good, and we had to move to another Airbnb. Now, the Airbnb that we moved to after the, if anybody's been to Osaka, we first stayed in the Shinsekai, well, opposite that, and it was in Tennoji, and it was 3 rooms on 1 floor. One of my friends, they went back earlier, and then me and my brother was left, and we had our own separate rooms. It was small, it was nice, but it wasn't very clean. It was like all Airbnb, this was. So the second one, me and my brother went, we just went halves. We stayed there for another week. I think it was just over a week, something like that. We had to travel with 3 cases, about a 20-minute walk. We decided to not get the train, just walk, because then we could stop off at vending machines and have a drink and just do it in our own time. Weather was nice and sunny anyway, so we got there, and it was like, I do have a vlog of this, so I will upload it, but it was like it was so beautiful. We had two bedrooms. In the bedrooms there was 2 double beds each, which was, yeah, nice. The bath was huge, and it automatically filled itself, which was nice. We had 2 sinks. Oh, it was so posh. Like, for me, it was pretty posh, and it was really nice, and it was so cheap. I think we got paid like 50 quid, so 100 quid for the week, something like that, because it was like pretty cheap then in Osaka. So yeah, good. It was near the JR station, it was in Mamiya, so it was good location to like Dotonbori and everything. Yeah, I do have, like I said, I do have a vlog of this, so you can see it. It was on the 10th floor. The view was amazing. So yeah, we stayed there for like just over a week, and our next flight was the 24th of March. Anyway, I think it was 30 hours, so I've got itchy nose, 30 hours before check-in, or something crazy like that, because we have the KLM apps on our phone, so yeah, everything's there. So, because was it Flying Blue members? It's pretty, anybody can sign up to be a Flying Blue member, but you get to collect your air miles, so if you do that, it's handy. But anyway, on the 24th of March, 30 hours before check-in, our flight got cancelled again. And it was like, okay, now this was due to coronavirus, because the lockdown kicked in on the 23rd of March, I believe, in the UK. Now it was due to a coronavirus sort of thing, but the borders were still open, so flights were still going out. Maybe reduced, but they were still going out. You could still book them, basically. So I was on the phone, I had to ring KLM again, and I think we waited on the phone. We was on like waiting about half an hour, something like that. And eventually got through, and they booked us on the next flight, which was on the 29th of March 2020. So we same whole, like, same situation, stopping off at Amsterdam, everything that we wanted. So we said, yeah, that's fine, okay, yeah, no worries, sort of thing. But she did say she could book us into another flight. We have to go to Tokyo again. And then it was to London, but we don't live anywhere near London. We didn't know what trains were like going on or anything in the UK. We had no idea what was going on here. So we was like, no, we want to go to the airport. If there's still flights available, we want to go to the airport that we originally booked, because it's like 40 minutes from home. London's 5 hours from home, so it was a bit, you know, a bit annoying. But yeah, she booked us on this on the 29th of March, so all was good. By then we was a bit worried, because like it was getting a bit crazy. In Japan it was like everybody was normal, I think. Yeah, like the beginning of the holiday it was fine, and then like the last 2 weeks, like before we actually got home, it started like going downhill rapidly. Like nobody was going out. People started to get not scared, but maybe aware of like it was spreading more, I guess. But they weren't testing enough people, because they was doing it another way. Some people think it's because they wanted the Olympics. I'm going to keep my opinion to myself, but yes. But anyway, that after the Olympics got moved, then I think they started testing more, but not as many as other countries, because they was doing it in a different way. But Japanese people normally wear masks. They're quite clean, I'd say. So I don't know, nobody knows, nobody will never know, and everybody's got their own opinion, which is absolutely fine. Anyway, so on the 29th of March 2020, that was our next flight, our third flight. It got cancelled again, so that was our third flight cancelled, and my insurance wasn't even valid, because I'd obviously transferred my first flight, so therefore I wasn't covered. If I got coronavirus, I'd be stuffed in Japan, basically. I tried to have a look at other ones to take out insurance, because I didn't know what was happening. Apparently Bupa and a few others were like they were, I could take it out. It was expensive, but it was, if I needed it, it was there. But also I'm asthmatic as well, so my inhalers were running low, so I was aware that I'd have to probably go to the hospital to get an inhaler. I think that's pretty easy in Japan. Asthma is a well-known thing, so yeah, I had friends that could take me. That wasn't an issue, but it was just obviously expense again. But obviously I have to pay from here, but I didn't know how much it cost in Japan. Probably the same, I'm not sure. But it was just like, we had to move to another Airbnb. So from the nice one, we had to move near Shinsaibashi. The location was perfect. For 3 cases again, we had to move. It was, I think we got the train. It wasn't that bad, but it was, we had to wait outside a few hours, so we literally sat on the street watching the in-betweeners and like all the Asians that were walking past. I say Asians because some of them could have been Korean. I don't know, like, or even like Indians live in Japan, so I'm not gonna, yeah. So I just say Asians, it's easier. But they obviously, if they didn't know what the in-betweeners was, and some of them do, but they was just like these 2 Asians sat on the road listening to the in-between. It's so British, it was hilarious. We sat there with drinks vending machine, so me and my brother was fine. But we had to wait for I think it was 2 hours or something, but we was able to check in early because Airbnbs have the locks on like the door handles, some of them. So if nobody's there and the room's been cleaned, then you're fine. So anyway, so we was checking into another Airbnb. We had literally no flight because our flight had been cancelled on the 29th, and then we got yeah, we booked onto another one, I think it was, or there could have been another one. yeah, there was another flight. So after the 29th, I think we got booked onto another one. I'm pretty sure it was the 5th. The 5th of April or the 4th of April. Something like that. It could have been the 3rd actually. It was the beginning of April. We got booked onto another flight. And so we booked out to go into this apartment, which was, I think near enough the 3 Airbnbs that we stayed in. This was the second one. I think we stayed in near enough a week in each, or it was like a week or under. But it was so, like, it was pretty expensive because it was just short time. We didn't know when the flight was going out. The nice Airbnb wasn't too bad because we've only paid 100, but this one was like the same price, but like less quality, but great location. Anyway, we stayed in the 3rd location, near Shinsaibashi, and we rang KLM again. This is when she said, oh, we've got a flight to leave tomorrow, but you have to go to Tokyo, so you have to fly from Kansai to Tokyo to London. Again, it was the same route, and it's like we can't have that route because we can't get home. And there was like, oh, there's no flights to your airport anymore. There's like on the side, we're not flying to there. And so it was just a bit like confusing. And she was like, oh, the next one's the 5th of May, I think it was, something like that. It was really confusing. So I think she managed to book us onto one. Like I said, at the beginning of April, she said it's like this one, and then it's like, because it was a reduced service or something. Was on the phone quite a while. So anyway, we got booked onto a flight. Then she was like, oh, hopefully this one goes out for you. And it's like, great, you know, that's nice to know. So we stayed in near Shinsaibashi for about, I think it was about a week, 5 to 7 days, something like that. And then anyway, the flight got cancelled again. So it was like our 4th flight cancelled. And we went to another Airbnb, and we had to, because it was either stay in the one that we was in, but it was nearly £1,000 to stay, and it was like, it's not worth it. So we went to another one, which was our last one that we was in, and I booked it out for the whole month until the 30th of April, because we knew there was a flight going out on the 5th of May, so we thought, well, if we do that, and then we can probably add on a few days. We didn't know if any other flights were going to come up. There was constantly changing. It was so confusing. We was checking the app and everything, and it was like daily changing. So I thought, book it out for the month, and then if we need a few more days, we can contact or just move somewhere else, like close by, or capsule hotel or something. There's other hotels. So we booked this one out, and it was about £400 for the month. It was near Nipponbashi, so downtown. It was a good location, not far. And we had to travel with 3 cases, and it was pouring down with rain. We travelled at night, so we decided, just because it was like less people about, so we just did that. And then we stayed in there, and yeah, that's when I think, I can't remember, was we booked onto a flight? I think we went to the British Embassy. Well, it's a consulate in Osaka, so we went there and we asked for some help. We was like, what do we do in this situation? I think by then we had 3 flights cancelled, or like 3 or 4 flights cancelled, and we couldn't get one to our airport. So we was a bit like, do we book on the May one? Like, we risk it, or what do we do? So we went to some advice from the consulate. Basically all they did is put me on a phone to the embassy in Tokyo, and it was like an answering machine, it was a recorded message, and we went on the website, and it basically just, it didn't want to know really. That's how it felt. There was only one security guard there. He didn't speak much English, and then there was a woman behind a desk who was obviously Japanese. She didn't even speak to us, and so we was in there for about 10 minutes, because you have to get like a lanyard to get in and everything. We had to be like security checked, but yeah, it was just, we came out like it was pointless us even going there, to be fair. It was a wasted journey. Didn't want to know. We tried to message KLM, that was another thing. We were messaging them. We found a flight, I think it was going on Saturday. I can't remember the dates, there's so many dates, but we messaged them on the KLM app, WhatsApp and Facebook, and apparently they was going to get in like contact me, and my brother was messaging them with our booking codes. We heard nothing back. We was literally spamming them at this point because we couldn't get through to them. My phone bill to ringing KLM to booking our 3 or 2 previous flights, I can't remember how many, it's just crazy, was £255, and because I'm with EE contract, I was like, I couldn't believe it. So yeah, I can show you the bill. Not that you wouldn't believe me, but it was just mental. It's like just trying to change the flight. So yeah, see it there, £255.66, and that's just trying to get through to them, which most of the time we did, but I was waiting like half an hour and crazy. And I know like this is a difficult time for them, but it was a bit worrying. Like, I've got anxiety, and like I didn't know what to do. It's like, it was just crazy. The consulate didn't want to know. And then we got in contact with obviously my mum and that, and mum got in contact with the news, which my local news, which is like Lincolnshire news, so Look North, that's what it's called. I couldn't think then. And so a lady got in contact with them, obviously Look North got in contact with KLM, and I don't know what number they used, but they'd like a few hours later or the day after, then KLM was like contacting me back on like Messenger. So they was messaging me back and on WhatsApp as well, which was a bit crazy. Yeah. And they was trying to arrange different flights for us. They basically then said to us, which we didn't know, was like, you need to get home ASAP because they will be stopping flights. We knew we needed to get back, but we didn't know that they was eventually going to be stopping flights, and we didn't know like the big situation that was going on because we never got it basically. So there was booking us onto flights, and first they booked us onto the wrong flight because it was going out in a few hours, and literally I had to pack up everything again. So I was like, I found a flight that I wanted, and I told them that I wanted this flight, which was on the 7th of April, I believe it was. And I said, yeah, this is the flight that I want, because we had to go to Manchester. Manchester was the nearest airport to us. I couldn't get any, it's not even near, it's nowhere near close to us. But it was the only airport that I could find a park, because I didn't want to go to London. So it was Manchester. There was no East Midlands. I burped again. I always burp in every video. No Doncaster, no Humberside. So literally it was like that or nothing. So I just booked me and my brother on it. And luckily this one did go out. It was at 12:30 at night, so it was the 7th of April, so last week basically. And literally when we got to the airport, there was people behind us. I had a few flights cancelled, but me and my brother had like 4 flights cancelled, and we'd lived in 4 Airbnbs at this point. It wasn't even funny anymore. The first 2 was like, everybody was laughing because we got to spend St. Patrick's Day, because I used to work at an Irish bar in Japan, so it was like, that was fun. But after that, it was like, you couldn't really go out because everybody was staying in because people were scared. And yeah, it was like, it's not even funny anymore. It's like, oh, what do we do? Nobody wants to know, sort of thing. So anyway, when we got to the airport at 12:30 at night, people were joking, saying, oh, this one's not going to go out, and I'm thinking, please don't even say that. I hear my mum in the background. So we got to the airport, and we the gate changed like several times. It was like 2 different gates. Can't remember now what gate it was. It was 36 something and 37 something, and we was like constantly changing. I was like, why is this happening? Everybody was thinking, oh my god, like, is it not gonna go out? But it did, and there was hardly anybody on it, and we had to like literally move around because of the wait. So they see that you was booked in, you had to sit in, you couldn't move onto an empty seat yet. You had to stay in it for takeoff and landing because of the weight distribution, which is fair enough, but I've never been told that on a flight, and I've been on light flights with less people than that one. So yeah, I think it was with China, so I thought that was a bit, I get it, like, I understand, but I've never been told that before, so yeah. And when you got onto the plane, it was 11.5-hour flight. We got on the plane, and we got 1 hot meal, which was like chicken, like a little chicken hot meal, and potato and something else. It was like really small. I got a little salad and a little like sponge cake or something, and a bottle of water. and that was that was it for 11.5 hours. Basically, we had one hot meal because apparently they couldn't serve them because of coronavirus, although they served us one in the beginning. They was wearing gloves and they was also wearing masks. Fair enough. But then on the seat was like a goodie bag, but all it had, basically it had a dairy, you know, one of them triangle dairy things, had one of them in it, had a few biscuits, like shortbread biscuits, and 3 bottles of water. And that was supposed to last you for 11.5 hours. So you couldn't have alcohol, you couldn't have hot drinks. Not that I drink alcohol though anyway, but like a coffee would have sufficed because I was really tired. Yeah, you couldn't have any of that, so that was a bit weird. I don't know in the galley what they had there, but it was, compared to all the flights that I've had previously when I've been with KLM, it was poor. Yeah, that's how I'm gonna put it. It was really bad. I understand, like, with the situation with the coronavirus, of course. Yeah, I understand that. But then shouldn't they have not served out any hot meal? Do you know what I mean? There was hardly anybody on the plane, but they served out one hot meal, but they said they couldn't serve out hot meals. So either you do or you don't. But then I don't know. I get confused with it all, sort of thing. But yeah. So we were starving by the time we got to Amsterdam, and then we had a 4-hour wait. And then we went to Amsterdam airport and we put money in the machine to get some Doritos from the vending machine. It stole our money, well, my brother's money, and we never got anything from that, so I was pretty annoyed with that, pretty pissed off, to be fair, because it was like £1 something. I did contact them and they was like, oh yeah, go get it from a restaurant, go get your money, they will give you your money back from a restaurant, and they put their name. I'm like, it's 6 o'clock in the morning and half the places are bloody closed because of coronavirus. Where's the restaurant? There was no restaurant. So yeah, that was a bit of a joke. And then the whole 2 meters apart, well, it was 1.5 meters apart in Amsterdam, which I understand because it does work, social distancing does work, but does it work when you've been on a 11.5 plane ride and you've sat next to the person for 11.5 hours? Probably not. So I didn't really understand that situation, but obviously I cooperated. You know, I'm not an idiot. Well, I will. But yeah, there was a bit rude at Amsterdam, I felt like, as well. This is a proper moan airport video. So when you got off the plane and you had to transfer to your connecting flight, you had to go through another security, and he was like, keep your bag closed. It was just rude, plain rude. And I had to drink all my drinks, so all the water that I had previously, and I had an orange tea which I wanted to bring home from Japan. We had to drink it all in one go because you couldn't take it through. So I was at a 4-hour wait when you couldn't. There was nowhere open, so it was like no drinks, nothing. So, and the vending machines just steal your money at Amsterdam airport. So be warned. So yeah, that was just ridiculous. Anyway, eventually got home to Manchester. Well, got to Manchester, and then I booked us on a 2 o'clock in the afternoon. We landed at 10. I booked us on a train at 2 o'clock because it was quite expensive from Manchester to Grimsby, which was 3 hours. Yeah. So I decided to just get on the next train going out. So we did. Luckily, that was fine. We did ask them at the station, at Manchester station. They said it would probably be fine because there's not many people on the train. It was really kind. So yeah, went to Sainsbury's there and got some food, and we went on the train. We got a 3-hour ride home. They never checked the tickets, so we was fine. Luckily got home, thank God, like last week, and now I'm in 2 weeks quarantine, and I don't know if I've got to go to work in a few weeks time. I'm not sure what's going to happen, to be fair. But yeah, that's the story. So now I'm home and I've got to try and put a massive claim in with KLM because of the 4 cancelled flights. We probably won't get any money for that, but I'm sure we did save receipts like for food and our Airbnbs, so hopefully I can get something back. I'm sure something can be done, especially my phone bill of like nearly 300 quid. I want that back, because also another £5 run to this month added just for like a 2-minute call. So yes, that's a half-an-hour moan video. So I hope you enjoyed that about my time where I was stuck in Japan. I think we was there for basically 2 weeks. No, 2 weeks, 2 months nearly. It was nearly 2 months, yeah. So yeah, there will be more Japanese videos. I think I've got my camera just stopped recording because it did its full half an hour. That's how much I've been talking and my throat's really dry. But yeah, there will be some Japanese videos coming up. I think I've got 3. I've got to edit them, and obviously I'll get back into my routine of doing like makeup videos and stuff. And I've got new copper hair. I was going to dye it blonde, but everybody told me to keep the copper, so at the minute that's what I'm doing. So yeah, I'll get back to shooting as normal, but I just wanted to let you know what is currently the situation of what I've been going through. Don't get me wrong, I love Japan. Luckily I was with friends and stuff, but yes. And also I'll do a haul of like what I did get in Japan, sort of thing. So yeah, I hope you all stay safe and having fun, because you've technically been in quarantine longer than me if you've been in England, quarantine, whatever you call it, isolation, I don't know, so many words for it, but yeah, because in Japan I could go out, so now they can't, but when I was there you could. So yeah, stay safe, and I hope I can make you laugh in some of my upcoming videos, so enjoy, and I'll see you in the next video, guys. If you want to like this video, then thumbs up, but I don't know who would want to like a half an hour moaning at stuff video, but yeah, if you want to subscribe then go ahead, and yeah, that little bell thing, I don't know. So yeah, I'll just see you in the next video, guys. Take care.